Okay, everybody, after action report. Hurricane Ida came through. She devastated our rivers, creeks, ponds. All our roads were either covered with or underwater so far that you couldn't drive through. Yet I sit here as a first responder listening to fire company after fire company after fire company going out to rescue people in deep water. You can't tell me they tried to drive through 6 inches of water, because even that's bad. I can't believe across the state even a school bus went into deep water. They had to rescue the kids out the back door. We talking ridiculous? I personally think that driver should be fired. I'm considering this an after action report. I showed you my solar power. I'm in front of my rug. I showed you my solar power. I showed you the food. Just got into a big discussion with other members of my club that our repeater is down. So it's rough talking to each other without the repeater. Oh, we're doing it. We're doing it through a different repeater. But it's a learning experience. Now, I've been looking at a lot of YouTube videos and a lot of selling items concerning the Jackery, the Rockway, I think it's called, inverters, power inverters with solar chargers. We have been discussing putting a system, emergency system up at the repeater to keep it running when the power is down. And the power has been down now over 12 hours. Well, only 7 of those hours were in darkness. 6 or 7, I believe. I'm not exactly sure when it went down, but you can bet on it being a powered situation with the trees falling across wires. And then, of course, people take priority getting their houses to have power again compared to getting our repeater back up. Right now, it's not an emergency situation, but it needs to have power to run so we can act as an emergency program for everybody in Reading. We're discussing the Jackery, how much power we need to run our repeater. We have an old repeater, it's been there for a while, so it runs on AC. Our controller, that's what the repeater uses to operate both in and out of frequencies, is fairly new. It's a 12-volt job. Well, of course, the Jackery does both AC and DC, so it would work. A solar panel, 100-watt solar panel, even 200, wouldn't be that expensive. And it would charge you during the day. Now, yesterday all day, of course, we had power. It didn't go down until last night when it was dark. That's when the Jackery would kick in. And of course, nobody was using it, so there'd be minimal power until daylight, right around 6 o'clock in the morning, is when all the guys would start getting on. We call them the sunrise crew, and talking for these guys going to work, so they can talk on their radios and their mobile and their vehicles. With our repeater being down, we were using another repeater. Some of the guys can't reach that repeater real well, and it was hard hearing them, even though those two repeaters are within 3 miles, 4 miles of each other, but on different sides of the mountain. So I brought up the fact again that we need some sort of solar setup with a switch over. When the power goes out, it automatically goes to our solar and battery backup. Everybody's saying we need so much power. We don't need as much power as you think we do. During the day, when the sun's out, when it's bright, the solar will keep the Jackery at power. If you would watch Elsa, E-L-S-A, and Baron, they use one of the Jackery type power supplies, and it keeps them running for days. And they run more than just lights. In our case, it would only be a repeater and a controller. I believe it would work. We now have to research how much power that repeater and how much power that controller uses to see if a small to medium-sized Jackery would work, or 100 watts, or do we need 200 watts to recharge it during the day and bring it back up to full power so we can use it in the evening. So that's something we're working through right now. It's a good research. If there's any other hams out there that have any ideas, leave a comment or get a hold of us at the Reading Radio Club. In September, we'll be meeting the third Friday out at the Ag Center on County Line Road. Normally, we meet the second Friday at 7:30 at the Ag Center. And bring your ideas out there, bring your research so we know. If there's Jackery people or rock people, I'm sorry I forget the whole name of the Rockway inverters, but there's 10 different brands out there. I could name them all if I sat down and watched all the videos. If you have any ideas on how to keep a repeater on the air, give us a call, stop by the meeting. We'd love to hear from you. We're trying to research how much we need. Again, my solar is running in the background. The battery right now with the sun on is 13.5. I do have the fan running, and I do have the inverter running. That's that little bit of hum you hear in the background. So that's what this boils down to. There were a few things I forgot yesterday that people did bring up to me, that it was too noisy. So I decided to get this video out there as an after-action report on the hurricane. I hope people learned, if they have a hurricane or in a very, very high rainstorm coming in, they keep counting on the fire departments to get out there and empty their cellars, get their pumps running. People, get your own pump. You don't have to count on them then. Get your own equipment that will keep you running. Not as a ham operator, but as a group or a couple or a homeowner. Save up. I know it's not easy. I had to do it myself, and I'm retired. Buy yourself a generator. Buy yourself an inverter. Look on YouTube. These inverters are not expensive. $129. You can get a YouTube to keep your stuff running until the power comes back on. Get a sump pump. They're not expensive. You can get them at Tractor Warehouse. Set it in your cellar, run the tube outside. Let it run the water out. On the downside, I guess I got to add that because people would be pumping right back into their own cellars. Just got to use your head. That's the bottom line. Use your head. Take care of your house. Make sure things are safe. Make them safer if you can. I'm one to preach, but I'm ready. Like I said yesterday, or like I said on my previous video, I'm not a prepper. I'm not ready for a year of living off the grid, but I am ready for 3 months, correction, 3 weeks to 4 weeks, and maybe I could stretch it to months. I don't know. It's a test I don't want to take, but it's a test I'm ready for. So there on my phone again, we're still discussing power for our repeater. If anybody out there really wants to get set up so they're safe from anything else that comes in, or at least prepared, give me a call, give me a comment. We'll see what we can talk about and get ready to do. It'd be nice sitting there watching TV when the power is out. Have a good day. Thank you for watching. I'm Claire.